Hello everyone, my name is Dasom Choi from KAIST in South Korea. Today I'm going to present my research about the inclusive online dating experience of autistic individuals. The person in this picture is Kaylin, who has autism spectrum disorder and also a cast member from the Netflix show Love on the Spectrum. In this show, she really wants to be in a romantic relationships, but as an autistic individual, dating is a challenging task for her, which brings huge amount of stress and anxiety. So Kelly turns to the online dating platform Tinder to find potential dates. In Tinder, she can have less overwhelming experience since she doesn't need to interpret nonverbal cues such as facial expression, and she can take enough time to process information about potential partners. Then one question may arise, can autistic individuals find truly desirable partners on online dating platforms? It is important to note that they may have unique needs in romantic partner, such as understanding their autistic characteristics. Therefore, to make them find true love in online dating apps, the platform must cater to the unique needs of autistic users. However, there has been lack of explorations of autistic users' in-depth voices in their online dating experiences, such as how do they want to present themselves to potential partners, what types of people would they like to date, or what challenges do they face in online dating. Therefore, in this study, we aim to understand the perceptions and expectations of autistic users in seeking romantic partners online. With this goal, we conducted group workshops with 12 autistic individuals who are interested in romantic relationships. Throughout the workshop, participants engaged in 3 main activities simulating dating app experiences. Those main activities are creating a dating profile, browsing others' profile, and messaging with matched partners. For the first activity, a participant created their own dating profiles with options to include photos, personal information, interest, and additional information. During the second activity, participants explored 14 virtual dating profiles and chose potential romantic partners they were interested in. These virtual profiles featured a mix of personality traits and level of information, and also included profiles of romantic scammers and autistic individuals. And we asked participants to mark likes and dislikes with colored pens and stickers to better understand their criteria for evaluating potential dates. In the last session, participants envisioned messaging scenarios with their matched partners. The topics covered in these scenarios included sending initial messages, sharing interest, revealing their autistic traits, rejecting partners, and also dealing with scammers. At the end of each session, participants presented their worksheet outcomes to fellow participants and researchers and discussed any further information or support to better navigate the online dating process. Through the study, we discovered various challenges, strategies, and needs of autistic individuals in dating apps. In this presentation, we will introduce a couple of these in detail. One of the most challenging aspects for many participants was feeling unsure about how to express themselves in romantic context and worried about being offensive to potential partners. Actually, many participants were very candid about their negative traits in their dating profiles. P6 wrote that, "Keep in mind that sometimes I may get angry or annoyed." Also, when talking to matched partner for the first time, some participants skipped the initial greeting and asked what they were curious about, such as, what's the level of education you have completed? When faced with these challenges, many participants expressed a desire to learn about the norms of online dating platforms. They pointed out that in order to initiate and maintain a romantic relationship online, understanding the unwritten rules within the platform seems important. So some participants speculated that showing empathy toward potential partners was an important norm and tried to empathize with partners' interests that were far from their own. Like this messaging example, P8 wrote that, "I'm not interested in their art, but I have an artistic sense, so I can take a look at it." However, the participants did not unconditionally modify their contents, even if they realized that they behaved outside the romantic norm. For example, some participants wrote specific interests such as gaming or anime in their dating profiles, even though it might give a geeky or nerdy impression to potential partners. It is because their interests were part of their identity. Participants who disclosed their autism on dating apps mentioned that it could reduce their matching probability or make them a target for scammer. Nonetheless, they choose to disclose their autism because they wanted to find someone who can respect and value their unique traits rather than being appealing to every user. With those findings, in this paper we discussed the inclusive online dating experience of autistic individuals. Our finding shows that autistic users have a tension between learning about social norms in dating apps while maintaining their unique characteristics without negotiation. So they want to receive feedback on their behavior, but ultimately they want to make their own decisions about whether to accept or reject the feedback. In light of this, in order to make autistic users find their true love without compromising their identity and needs, we propose that the system should promote users to recognize their own needs and make self-guided decisions. Then we suggested several implications for designing more inclusive online dating experiences that could promote self-guided decision-making of autistic users. First, the system could offer supportive data to enable autistic users to learn about customs underlying the platform. For example, in tasks such as creating a profile or initiating a romantic conversation, the system could stimulate autistic users' thought by providing various ideas that can be used in the given context. Second implication is facilitating self-reflection on their behavior. To promote self-guided decision-making, understanding one's own need would be the first step. So we suggested prompt question features to facilitate self-reflection of their online dating experiences. For example, when they are interested in a profile and swipe right to make a match, the system can provide a question like, "Why do you think you are interested in this person?" This approach could empower autistic users to define the romantic relationship themselves and identify their own needs in a complex dating situation. Third one is about matchmaking algorithms or systems, which play a key role in recommending potential dates. We suggest that the matchmaking system recognize and prioritize users' unique values as important factors in algorithmic recommendations. The system could ask users to identify their prioritized factors and actively recommend their profiles to users who respect those features. This approach would not only benefit neurodiverse users, but also neurotypical users with various dating preferences and values in finding romantic partners online. In conclusion, our study discovered unobserved expectations, strategies, and challenges of autistic individuals in their online dating experiences. And based on it, we proposed implications for designing inclusive online dating environments that can respect autistic users' opinion and facilitate their self-directed behaviors. Thank you for listening.